heard enough about them tonight. I come from a super duper black family. Super duper black. You could quantify my family's black. My great grandfather, born at the edge of slavery, taught himself to read, moved to DC, had a couple daughters. One of those daughters, first black employee at the US Supreme Court building, written up in the newspapers. That's a super black achievement. She had a daughter, a very revolutionary daughter, my mother, so adorable, so rebellious, who countered the views of her own mother and was out in the streets protesting and was doing the weed and the music and everything and was really part of this Pan-Africanist movement. They spelled Africa with a K, that's how black they were. This is all happening in DC, and my mother comes up in DC through the 60s, and she has an older sister of mine, and she imposes her Pan-Africanism on me, gives me this Nigerian name, Baratunde. We are not Nigerian people. And Nigerians remind me of this constantly. They're like, where did you get that name? I'm like, I don't know, the name bank? Like, where the fuck is the name? I got it from my mom. I have no say in this. I'm a victim, like you. I just live with the consequences, Lord, YouTube. So it's been a fun journey. When you have a revolutionary black mother in the 80s in DC, you get a different kind of upbringing, you get a different media exposure. I didn't have cartoons. I didn't have See Dick Run pop-up books. I had, my first book I remember was called This Is Apartheid. A pictorial review. I am not lying to you. I had visual images of oppression as an 8-year-old boy. My mom used to quiz me on the nations of Africa. She would point to a map, like, what's that one? What's that one? What's that one? So I had a little tense relationship with my friends. I was protesting Cocoa Puffs because I thought there was something racist going on. Just on the stoop, hating. And it was fine. We lived in a black neighborhood. My household was black, but then my mother did something really creative and brilliant and terrifying. She unleashed me, this revolutionary bundle of joy, upon white people in the form of private school. And in 7th grade, I switched over to this elite private school called Sidwell Friends. The Obama daughters go there now. And it was a very dramatic cultural shift, and I knew two things when I got to this school about myself. I knew that there would be a revolution and I would survive, and a lot of white people wouldn't make it. I knew this. I knew it. This is true. And I also know I needed to stay informed. Like, information is power, so I was a news junkie. I would like listen to NPR, and I had one white man I trusted, Tom Brokaw, so I watched NBC Nightly News every night. I love the horns and the openings. Like, that's how marching bands had a little flavor, so I could get away with that. And I got to this school, and racial politics in high school and hormones mixed just beautifully. And so, high school is basically ground zero for the coming race war. And it didn't play out in the classroom over curriculum battles or on the athletic fields over scholarship. It played out in the student center at the school over radio station choice. And it was so political, like what radio station we're gonna play in the student center today. And I never understood why there was even a choice. It's like the title of the show, chocolate, vanilla. Chocolate wins every time. Like, everybody loves chocolate. Vanilla's whack, sorry, Christian. So why do we have to pretend that this is an equal opportunity situation? It's not. And so with the radio station, I'm like, everybody likes black music. Few people like white music. Like, this is just high school me, just like slicing the world in binary. I'm like, you got R&B, soul, hip hop, win, 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 and then classic rock. What the fuck is that? That was terrible. And so somebody would fight to put on DC 101, there'd be an argument, then we finally flipped it back to WPGC because everybody could get down with the hip hop and R&B. And I saw that rock radio station wasn't just rock music. It was oppressor radio. You know, I didn't want to fill my mind with those ideas. So everything was fine. I was good hating the world was fine with me. And then something shifted, and I started to develop these feelings of affection for a classmate of mine. We'll call her Maggie for the sake of this. And Maggie was not a Nubian princess. Maggie was this white girl. And actually she was half Lebanese, half white, but in American rules of race, she was white. Because we simplify in America. And it was awkward. We had math class together, a newspaper together, and I had seen, she told me about this music group, Nirvana. She's like, you gotta check out Nirvana. And old me would have been like, no, I don't have to listen to the oppressor scream at me. But hormonal, attracted to you me was like, oh, if I buy the Nevermind album, you will have sex with me. Because that's how high school dudes think, because we're idiots. And I turned on the NBC Nightly News that night, and Kurt Cobain was all up in my newscast, because he had killed himself. And he crossed over into the world that I cared about, which is shit happening in the world. So I bought this album, and on a cassette tape. It's 1993, 94-ish, I don't remember the exact year. I could have looked it up, but I didn't, I'm lazy. You know how black people can be sometimes. You are not supposed to laugh like that. You are not supposed to laugh! That just made it worse, my sister. We're gonna talk after the show. So I bought this cassette, and I hated to admit it, but I loved it. I'm like, this screaming, angsty shit is exactly how I feel. And I turned on the Pearl Jam and all the other angry white dudes at the time screaming random shit. Like, this is me, I feel like screaming random shit all the time. It's beautiful. It didn't go over so beautifully when my mother found the cassette. And it's not that she had such simplistic ideas as I did, she was a mature grown person. But she did have a problem with a song whose title was Rape Me. And she had a concern about her little boy listening to this and wondering what kind of ideas were going on. There was no explaining that. I was like, it's art, I don't know. I'm going to go study things now. So I listened to this music and I started opening my horizon. I fucking joined the wrestling team because that's what happens when you listen to too much Nirvana. You join the wrestling team. You're getting angry, you gotta take it out in a legal fashion. And things started to open up. Maggie never had sex with me. She never kissed me. We never had any kind of romantic relationship. But there was a bit of an opening in my eyes, and I don't hate you, and I don't want you to die. I ended up marrying a white woman. We got divorced, of course, but I tried. And my crackhead mayor in DC, Marion Barry, he's not the symbol of that anymore. We have a white guy doing that now, like Rob Ford. And he's Canadian, so like I feel like there's justice. There's a new civil rights hero. And I live in a white neighborhood. I live in Fort Greene, Brooklyn. Like there's kale being sold. And I think that Nirvana opened me and opened America. We got Obama because of Nirvana in my life. And so the chocolate vanilla thing, chocolate still tastes better, but I am willing to swirl it up a little bit. And I give some credit to a great musical group and a girl who I had a crush on, who didn't stalk me back, but changed my life in a pretty significant way. Thank you very much.